Hello everyone, welcome you all to today's class. So today our class is in continuation with inverse trigonometric functions, right? So we have already studied 4 parts from this topic, and today's topic is basically inverse trigo functions part 5. Okay, so in part 5 we are going to cover some property number 8 and some questions, and specifically we will take some questions from exercise 2.3 of NCERT textbook. Okay, so let's see. First, property number 8, first part is sin inverse x plus minus. So I am taking here 2 parts, sin inverse plus minus sin inverse y equals to sin inverse x into under root 1 minus y square plus minus y into under root 1 minus x square. Okay, and here the restriction is x and y greater than equal to 0, x square plus y square less than equal to 1. So this is the restriction we are considering. Okay, so whenever you say sin inverse x plus minus, so if it is plus, here it will be plus, if it is minus, here it will be minus. Okay, so let's consider these two cases. First case is sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. Second case we will take sin inverse x minus sin inverse y. Okay, so for both the parts, let sin inverse x equal to a, sin inverse y equal to b. This gives us x equal to sin a and y equal to sin b. So going back here, sin inverse x plus sin inverse y means a plus b equal to sin inverse something. So this something will be sin of a plus b. So we consider sin a plus b, that is equal to sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b. And sin a already we have, sin a equal to x, sin b already we have. So we do not have cos a, we do not have cos b. Now having sin a, we can have cos a. So cos a is under root 1 minus x square. Having sin b, we can get cos b, that is under root 1 minus y square. So here we are getting sin a means you have x, cos b means you have under root 1 minus y square plus cos a means under root 1 minus x square, and sin b means you have y here. So sin a plus b equals to x into under root 1 minus y square plus y into under root 1 minus x square. So you can write here a plus b equals to sin inverse x into under root 1 minus y square plus y into under root 1 minus x square. Right? A plus b means sin inverse x plus sin inverse y, that is equal to sin inverse x into under root 1 minus y square plus y into under root 1 minus x square. Just have a look at it. Okay, so this concludes the first part. So in case we take sin inverse x minus sin inverse y, sin inverse x minus sin inverse y means you have to take sin a minus b here, because so if it is minus a minus b, so a minus b equal to sin inverse something. So this quantity will be sin a minus b, and sin a minus b, as we know, it is sin a into cos b minus cos a into sin b, which is equal to x into under root 1 minus y square minus y into under root 1 minus x square. So we can write here sin inverse x into under root 1 minus y square minus y into under root 1 minus x square. Okay, so these are basically two formulas. Okay, sin inverse x plus minus means first part we have taken sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. Second part we have taken sin inverse x minus sin inverse y. So we are getting like this. Okay, and here we have the restriction x y greater than equal to 0. So because when x y greater than equal to 0, as you know, sin inverse principal value branches, that is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So whenever we say x y greater than equal to 0, it means both sin inverse x and sin inverse y, they are positive, I mean non-negative. So it means here sin inverse x and sin inverse y both will lie in the closed interval 0 pi by 2. Okay, and also x square plus y square less than equal to 0. So we have considered, for the time being we have considered this condition only. Okay, so it is I mean as per your NCERT book. So this is the restriction I have taken. Okay, so next part, so let's see, I mean we are going to prove the next part. So your next one is cos inverse x plus minus cos inverse y, that is equal to cos inverse x into y minus plus. So it means whenever you take cos inverse x plus cos inverse y, it is cos inverse xy minus under root 1 minus x square into under root 1 minus y square. Similarly, cos inverse x minus cos inverse y is cos inverse x into y plus under root 1 minus x square into under root 1 minus y square. Okay, here x and y both greater than equal to 0 we have taken. Okay, so and of course here x square cannot exceed 1 and y square also cannot exceed 1. So that is the inherent, you can say, restriction. So to start with, let cos inverse x equal to a, cos inverse y equal to b. It means x equal to cos a, y equal to cos b. And as like the previous one, you see, whenever we write here a and b, so this is a plus b. Okay, we are considering the first case plus a plus b. So a plus b equal to cos inverse something. So this something will be cos a plus b. So we start with cos a plus b, that is equal to cos a into cos b minus sin a into sin b. Okay, so cos a into cos b minus sin a into sin b. Cos a we have x, cos b we have y minus sin a into sin b. So cos a equal to x, so sin a will be under root 1 minus x square. Similarly, cos b equal to y, so sin b equal to under root 1 minus y square. So we are getting a plus b equal to cos inverse xy minus under root 1 minus x square into under root 1 minus y square. Okay, so now next one is, so a plus b means what? Cos inverse x plus cos inverse y, that is equal to cos inverse x into y minus under root 1 minus x square into under root 1 minus y square. Okay, and in case we have cos inverse x minus cos inverse y, so it means a minus b. So we have to start with cos a minus b. So cos a minus b is cos a into cos b plus sin a into sin b. It means instead of minus sign here we can get plus sign. Okay, so this is the first part of this Our next part is cos inverse x minus cos inverse y is cos inverse xy plus under root 1 minus x square into under root 1 minus y square. Okay, so this is about like two major formulas, you can say sin inverse x plus minus sin inverse y and cos inverse x plus minus cos inverse y. So it means actually these are four major formulas, and we already have done tan inverse x plus minus tan inverse y, right? And along with some, these properties, property number 8, we have already done last 7 properties. Okay, and by this time you might have observed the basic procedure of attempting a basic procedure of solving the question from inverse trigonometric functions. Now we will take some questions. Okay, so let's take some questions now. Probe these 4 questions, right? First part is 2 sin inverse x equals to sin inverse 2x into under root 1 minus x square. Okay, so solution for the first part is, so we are given 2 sin inverse x equal to sin of inverse of something, right? So it means if you take here, let sin inverse x equal to a, it means x equal to sin a. So here we have sin inverse x equal to a, means we are having 2a equal to sin inverse this. So this is equal to sin 2a, right? So we can start with sin 2a, means 2 sin a into cos a. So 2 sin a into cos a, sin a equal to x. So 2 into x. And if you have sin a, you can get cos a. So that is equal to under root 1 minus x square. So it means 2a equal to sin inverse 2x into under root 1 minus x square. Or you can say twice of sin inverse x equal to, sin inverse 2x into under root 1 minus x square. Hence proved. Okay. And similarly, if you see, look at this question also. See question number 2, if we put cos inverse x equal to a, it means x equal to cos a. So here 2a equal to cos inverse this. So this is equal to cos 2a. Now you see cos 2a equals to, here you see, so cos 2a has so many formulas, right? Like whenever we write cos 2a, it may be sin cos square a minus sin square a, or it may be like 2 cos square a minus 1, or it may be 1 minus 2 sin square a. So out of these 3 cases, so which case will suit here? So because we are having 2x square minus 1, so x equal to cos a. So 2 cos square a minus 1. So cos 2a equal to 2 cos square a minus 1, that is 2x square minus 1. So 2a means 2 cos inverse x equal to cos inverse 2x square minus 1. Hence proved. Okay. Now next one is third question, cos inverse 4 by 5 plus cos inverse 12 by 13 equal to cos inverse 13 by 65, or it may be like 1 by 5 actually. Okay, so I have taken the question from exercise 2.3 of NCERT textbook. So these 2 questions. So here taking LHS, cos inverse 4 by 5 plus cos inverse 12 by 13. So here you see cos inverse x plus cos inverse y. We need cos inverse. So no problem. So as we know, cos inverse x plus cos inverse y equal to cos inverse xy minus under root 1 minus x square into under root 1 minus y square, right? So directly we can apply that formula. So here it is cos inverse x into y means 4 by 5 into 12 by 13, 4 by 5 into 12 by 13 minus under root 1 minus x square, 1 minus 16 by 25 into under root 1 minus 144 by 169. Okay, so here I am using the formula directly. So this is equal to cos inverse, it is 48 by 65 minus, so here you see 1 minus 16 by 25, that is 9 by 25, and square root is 3 by 5. Okay, similarly here you see 1 minus 144 by 169 means you will be getting here 25 by 169, and square root of this is 5 by 13. Okay, so cos inverse, it is so for 65 LCM, so here it is 48 and minus 15. So you are getting here cos inverse 13 by 65, which we require. Okay, hence put. So this formula is quite direct, so if you know the formula directly you can use it. Okay, so next fourth part is, so the fourth question is cos inverse 12 by 13 plus sin inverse 3 by 5 equal to sin inverse 56 by 65. So here you see you have sin inverse here, sin inverse here, and you have cos inverse. So it means, as we know, we have sin inverse x plus minus sin inverse y, right? Similarly, cos inverse plus minus x plus cos inverse y, right? So whenever we get only sin inverse in RHS, yeah, only cos inverse in RHS, right? We just finished, two, yeah, you can say actually 4 formulas. Okay, but here you see cos inverse, sin inverse, sin inverse. It means if we can convert this into sin inverse, so it will be easier for us to take the formula directly, right? So what we can do, the first step is to convert cos inverse 12 by 13 into sin inverse. It means here the concept comes how to convert one inverse trigo to another inverse trigo. Okay, so let me take the triangle method. I think earlier we have done one question on this. Suppose you have theta here, right? Now we want to convert cos inverse to sin inverse, right? So let cos inverse 12 by 13 equal to theta. Okay, it means cos theta equal to 12 by 13. Okay, so cos theta equal to 12 by 13, that is your B by H. So it means ratio of base to hypotenuse is 12 is to 13. So it means you can say base can be taken as 12K, hypotenuse can be taken as 13K. So it means we need P because we need sin. So P equal to under root h square minus b square. H square means here it is 169k square minus 144k square, right? You are getting here 25k square, 25k square, and square root is 5k. So this will be your 5k. It means sin theta equal to what? Sin theta equal to P by H. So it will be 5 by 13. It means theta is sin inverse 5 by 13. Okay, theta equal to sine inverse 5 by 13. Theta means we have taken cos inverse 12 by 13. It means here cos inverse 12 by 13 will be equal to sine inverse 5 by 13. So in place of cos inverse this, we can write sine inverse 5 by 13 plus sine inverse 3 by 5. We need sine inverse in RHS, so we don't have any problem now. So we have sine inverse. So it is in the form of sine inverse x plus sine inverse y. So we have sine inverse x plus sine inverse y equal to sine inverse x into under root 1 minus y square plus y into under root 1 minus x square. This is the formula we need to use. Sine inverse x means 5 by 13 into under root 1 minus y square 1 minus 9 by 25 plus y into under root 1 minus ये हो जाएगा 25 by 169. Okay, so next step is sine inverse 5 by 13. Here it is 16 by 25. स्क्वायर रूट लोगे तो ये हो जाएगा 4 by 5 प्लस 3 by 5. नाउ ये आ जाएगा 144 by 169. स्क्वायर रूट लोगे तो क्या होगा 12 by 13. So it is 12 by 13. So sine inverse 65 your LCM 5 into 4 20 plus 3 into 12 36. Okay, so you are getting sine inverse 56 by 65. I think this is our RHS, right? ये है, so RHS hence booked. So here we learned two things. One is converting one inverse trigo ratio to one inverse trigo to another inverse trigo. It means converting cos inverse into sine inverse, right? One inverse trigo to another inverse trigo. And second one is how to apply the formula directly, like sine inverse x plus sine inverse y. Okay. So we can take next two questions. We have a bit time. So cot inverse under root 1 plus sine x plus under root 1 minus sine x divided by under root 1 plus sine x minus under root 1 minus sine x, that is equal to x by 2, and here x belongs to the open interval 0 pi by 4. Okay, so when you see such questions like 1 plus sine x, 1 minus sine x, so one thing you might be thinking, if you remember, whenever we write 1 plus sine x, right, so can it be written as cos square x by 2 plus sin square x by 2 plus 2, you can write here cos x by 2 into sin x by 2. Okay, can we write like this? Because whenever you write 1 can be written as sin square x plus cos square x, or we also can write it as sin square x by 2 plus cos square x by 2. Similarly, sin 2x is 2 sin x into cos x. It means sin x can be written as 2 sin x by 2 into cos x by 2. Or here I have written here 2 cos x by 2 into sin x by 2. Okay, so this gives us the formula cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 whole square. Okay, a square plus b square plus 2ab, right? And if it is minus, here it will be minus, here it will be minus. So it means in case you have 1 minus sin x, it would be cos square x by 2 plus sin square x by 2 minus 2 cos x by 2 into sin x by 2, means a square plus b square minus 2ab which is a minus b whole square, right? So by just now simply by writing this, we can cover, I mean, these four things, four terms. Okay, numerator 2 terms, denominator 2 terms. Now coming to LHS, cot inverse. So this one will be what? Under root cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 whole square plus under root cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 whole square divided by under root cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 whole square minus, so again the same thing we are writing, okay, and you can just now skip the, I mean, if you are taking square root directly, you can write here also. So it means you have just write cot inverse like this. Okay, so cot inverse, you are getting here cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 plus cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 minus of this, so minus cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2. Okay, so ये cancel हो रहा है, so you are getting here cot inverse 2 cos x by 2 by 2 sin x by 2 means cot inverse cot x by 2, that is equal to x by 2. Here you are getting RHS, hence proved. Now the question may arise, like, no, why, I mean, we have taken here cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2. Yeah, cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2. And we could have taken sin x by 2 plus cos x by 2. It's fine. So no problem. Whether you write here cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 or sin x by 2 plus cos x by 2, you don't have any problem. You could have written. But for this, if we write here in place of cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2, if we write here sin x by 2 minus cos x by 2, so we will not get x by 2 directly. And also, why are we writing cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2? It is because of this restriction. It means between 0 and pi by 4. Okay, so cosine is greater, yeah, sin is greater. Okay, you observe the graphs of sin x and cos x. Okay, so whenever you have x belongs to 0 pi by 4, right? So again you can just observe nature of the curves basically. It's basically the nature of the curves, the nature of the graphs of sine and cosine functions. We are taking here cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 instead of sin x by 2 minus cos x by 2. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Otherwise you are getting the result, right? If you ask me why not sin x by 2 minus cos x by 2. Okay, though if you see the number system, whole square of a minus b and whole square of b minus a, that is same. Okay, so here you may take in that way also, but I just know analytically it should be like this because of the restriction, because of the nature of the curves. Okay, so then this is question number 10 of your 2.3 exercise NCERT textbook, and our last question of today's class is 11th, question number 11, tan inverse under root 1 plus x minus under root 1 minus x divided by under root 1 plus x plus 1 minus x. Prove that this is equal to pi by 4 minus half of cos inverse x. So because we are given here cos inverse x, so directly you can put x equal to cos theta, yeah, x equal to cos 2 theta, whatever you feel like, right? So the last question of this class, as I said, tan inverse under root 1 plus x minus under root 1 minus x, in the denominator under root 1 plus x plus under root 1 minus x. So let x equal to cos 2 theta, right? So 2 theta is cos inverse x, theta equal to half of cos inverse x. Now you see here tan inverse, so this is equal to, whenever you write 1 plus cos 2 theta, 1 plus cos 2 theta is what? 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta. Similarly 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sin square theta. We know it. So here 1 plus cos 2 theta means here it will be 2 cos square theta, means under root 2 cos theta minus this would be what? Root 2 sin theta divided by under root, sorry, I'm just taking directly cos theta minus plus root 2 sin theta. You are getting like this. So tan inverse of root 2 can be, you can divide both numerator and denominator by root 2. So you are getting cos theta minus sin theta by cos theta plus sin theta. It means tan inverse, divide numerator and denominator by cos theta, 1 minus tan theta by 1 plus tan theta, that is equal to tan inverse. So this is your 10 pi by 4 minus tan theta by 1 plus 10 pi by 4 into tan theta, which gives us, should I write it? Tan pi by 4 minus tan theta by 1 plus tan pi by 4 into tan theta, right? So you are getting here tan inverse of tan pi by 4 minus theta, which is equal to pi by 4 minus theta. Minus theta means it is minus of half cos inverse x. Okay, so that is these are the questions. We have we have taken many questions from exercise 2.3, and earlier we have taken some more questions also, and so this is about you can say fifth part of inverse trigonometric functions chapter, and we are left with one more part. So to finish this topic, so maybe in next class we will take some questions only, because some typical questions, previous year's board questions I will take. And thank you so much, and please watch all the videos from this chapter, so that you will be connecting all the concepts, okay, one after the other. And secondly, you really can be able to solve so many questions, right? And because this is the topic which is not very difficult, it is easy to score marks, not to lose any mark from this topic. Okay, so thank you so much, and see you in my next class.